Good evening to you. Great thanks for joining us. This is Sunday Express. For the next 1 hour or so, we'll be informing you what has been happening across the country, including the latest call by President William Ruto for the youth to be empowered instead, and of course calling on political leaders to focus more on providing practical solutions to the myriad of problems that face the youth instead of charging them or inciting them to go to the streets. We have these details lined up for you. But first things first, here are tonight's highlights. Anger and agony. Residents display anger over death of Molo activist as they demand answers over his death.
Our young people, they deserve the best from us. Kama wazazi, kama serikali, kama viongozi.
Do not incite the youth. The future of the youth rests on mentorship and employment creation, President William Ruto asserts. Case of food poisoning, at least 73 people hospitalized after consuming fermented milk in Kericho. And TikTok goes dark in US. Popular social media app goes offline even before ban is effective. My name is John Jacob Kioria. You're very much welcome to the broadcast. Byron Abuli is a sign language interpreter. To start us off, some sad story from Molo. A mystery surrounds the death of a Molo activist who was attacked by unknown assailants on Saturday night. Residents of Elbagon town in Molo constituency, Nakuru County, took to the streets on Sunday while carrying the body of the activist Richard Otieno, popularly known as the Molo president. Area MP Kericho has condemned the incident and called for speedy investigations, as Abdiaziz Hashim now reports.
Tension remains high in Molo and Elbagon on Sunday following the brutal murder of Richard Otieno, a well-known youth mobilizer and activist who is said to have been hacked to death by unknown assailants on Saturday night.
Alimepoteza uhai wake kutokana na kushambuliwa na majambazi ama watu ambao hawajajulikana, wakampiga choka ya nyuma ya kichwa na akaweza kuaga.
The killing, which is reported to have occurred just 200 meters from the Elbagon police station, has sparked widespread outrage, with residents accusing authorities of failing to address the rising insecurity in the area. Angered by the murder, hundreds of protesters stormed Elbagon police station, demanding immediate action from law enforcement officers.
Tunataka tu haki itendeke. Yule ambaye amefanya kitendo hicho ikuwe ya mwisho.
We only need to guide them pole pole. Lakini ukiua hakuna hata mtu ya kuguide. Huyu ni mtoto.
Because nobody deserves to go through what the young man went through. And this young man did not have to die.
Business activities in the town came to a standstill as residents took to the streets, expressing their frustrations over what they termed as police inaction. The situation escalated further when demonstrators forcefully removed Otieno's body from the mortuary and paraded it through the streets. Molo Member of Parliament Kericho has condemned the Saturday night incident, calling for speedy investigations into the matter.
You should never go to attack anyone personally because of any differences you may have with them. But of course, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know the questions our investigative agencies should ask. Who stands to benefit from this death? And there should be investigations, including how a body was forcibly taken from a hospital a few meters from a police station. There should be investigations as to what may have been the intentions of mutilating the body.
Community leaders and human rights activists have also condemned the killing, calling for a thorough investigations and accountability from the authorities.
Na amekuwa akikashifu kwa uchungu mwingi kabisa, lakini asubuhi ya kuamkia leo tukaweza kupashwa habari kwamba ameweza kuuawa kwa njia ambayo haiwezi kueleweka.
Na tunasema ya kwamba tunakashifu kwa njia kuu sana Haiti kitendo ambacho kilitendeka kwetu pale Elbagon, kwa sababu hatujaisikia.
Hatutatulia na hatutasika Richard kabla hatujajua ni nani aliua yeye ama ni nani alitumana.
I also pray that those that committed these heinous acts may never know peace.
Abdiaziz Hashim for Sunday Express.
And now President William Ruto says the future of a country's youthful population rests on the leader's ability to craft a progressive and meaningful strategy that will ensure employment opportunities and proper mentorship as opposed to incitement to violence. The head of state says the government has already crafted a plan that will see youth gainfully engaged in economically empowering activities.
At an interdenominational prayer meeting at Cheptais Boys High School in Mount Elgon, Sub-County, Bungoma County, the tone was set by the lead pastor of the Calvary Restoration Worship Center, Dr. Charles Naibei, who took issue with those critical of the government's development agenda, calling for patience.
Tunapomrudia Mungu lazima pia sisi tujichunguze. Na kwa sababu Kenya maana yake ni yes to God, taifa la Kenya nataka kusema hivi: in the hands of God we are safe, and this country is safe. Under the leadership that God appointed, it is safe.
Leaders at the forum will take cue, appearing to respond to remarks by the retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, who called on the youth to defend their rights.
Excellency, nimeona juzi ulimtembelea rafiki yako ule aliyekuwa kwa ile kiti ambayo umekalia saa hii, na nikafikiria amerudi laini, amesema to unite pamoja tuende mbele, lakini juzi nikaona tena amejaribu kuchochea vijana. Your Excellency, mimi nimeona kidogo sasa hii mambo ya wale wanataka kuenda mrengo ile wacha waende, wale wanataka kushikana pamoja washikane, tusonge mbele kama Kenya moja. Ya pili, Your Excellency, mimi ningependa kushukuru.
Kwa nini atuwewe wananchi wachochewe kuharibu serikali? Na nchi hii wakati itapata shida, hata yeye, hata kama ako na mali nyingi, yeye pia atakuwamo ndani hapa. Si ati atahepa.
Our support, Your Excellency, katika mlima hii haustahili kuuliza sisi maswali mengi. Sisi tuko askari yako na tuko tayari kukutetea. We are ready to defend you at all cost. Hapa usiwe na wasiwasi. Wala wanakukriticize ya kwamba sijui iko namna gani. These are people we are used to politics of the normal.
President William Ruto challenged leaders at every level to take responsibility for crafting strategies of not only mentoring the youth, but also providing predictable and sound pathways for the empowerment of the youthful population.
Ni kwa sababu lengo la muhimu ni kuhakikisha kwamba yale ambayo anaamua, yale mazito, tumpatie nafasi, tumuunge mkono, asiwe mtu wa kuangalia nyuma kwamba nani amesimama nyuma yangu. Tunataka asimame mbele, aongoze wa Kenya, tutatue hizi shida.
Jamii zote ziko, tutashirikiana kusaidia rais wetu kuleta wa Kenya pamoja. Tutashirikiana kuhakikisha rais wetu anajenga nchi yetu vilivyo ili kutatua matatizo tuliyo nayo.
We are not uniting either as parties or even under the broad-based arrangement against other Kenyans or against any region or against any community or against any person. We are uniting with all Kenyans because in unity
there is strength.
Ruto would use the platform to spell out his government's agenda for the youth that he says is already bearing fruits, with hundreds of thousands of jobs created in different sectors to benefit the youth.
Kwa hivyo, mimi nataka niwaulize, our young people, they deserve the best from us. Kama wazazi, kama serikali, kama viongozi, tusiwapiganishe watoto wetu. These young people of Kenya, they don't need violence. They don't need confrontation. They want opportunities. They want jobs. They want opportunity to engage in business. That is what we should be doing as leaders, instead of inciting them to violence, to destruction, and many things. That will not solve their problem and will not solve the problem of our country.
Ruto is on a 5-day working tour in the Western region, which begins on Monday. In Kakamega County, he will oversee the distribution of bonuses to cane farmers in Mumias, a first in the country. Achola Simon, Sunday Express, Bungoma County.
Now, at least 73 people from Kabianga and Masaita villages in Londiani East constituency of Kericho County have been admitted to the hospital after consuming fermented milk, popularly known as the mursik, during a church graduation ceremony. Those taken ill displayed symptoms such as vomiting and diarrhea in what is suspected to be food poisoning.
Londiani Sub-County Hospital in Kericho County. Victims of the contaminated fermented milk, popularly referred to as mursik, are receiving treatment. Among them are 12 children. Lucky to be alive, they recount how a planned graduation party turned sour moments after consuming the drink popular among the Kalenjin community.
Tulikunywa maziwa ya mala na ni watu wengi, si mtu mmoja, watu wengi sana walikunywa, karibu watu wamejaa karibu 100. Na hiyo shida yenye tupata, tunatafika, tunara na kiuno ni uchungu, kichwa ni uchungu.
Niko na watoto kule ward ya watoto na ni wagonjwa, hata sijaenda kuona, sijisikii, lakini wawili na baba yao.
Tulikuwa na mpango ya sherehe ambayo ingefanyika jana, lakini sherehe yenyewe baadaye ilifanyika, lakini watu wengi hawakuweza kuhudhuria hiyo sherehe kwa sababu walikuwa wagonjwa sana.
The victims are, however, surprised at the turn of events, as the vendor who is currently on the run had been in the business for long.
Huyo mama anatembezanga maziwa hiyo. Haikuwa ni siku moja, ilikuwa inaendelea kuuza maziwa, lakini jana sijui nini ilifanyika.
The public has been urged to exercise caution when consuming food and drinks at public events, as this is not the first incident in the area.
Bado wako na hiyo signs and symptoms, wanaendesha, wengine wakitapika. So tumewapea dawa. I just want to warn the people of that community, wakikunywa maziwa wajue inatoka wapi na imetengenezwa na wapi.
Nancy Okware, Sunday Express.
The third batch of 217 police officers from Kenya arrived in Haiti on Saturday for the multinational security support mission. The troops will aid in battling violent gangs that have taken over parts of a troubled Caribbean country. The troops will join the first batch of 400 officers deployed to Haiti last year.
I want to pray that you go before them, so that then the mission becomes successful.
The third batch of over 200 police officers first said a word of prayer before departing the Kenyan soil to join their counterparts in Haiti.
And the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
You are individual representatives of our country, and more importantly, representatives of the National Police Service. So your conduct there is critically important for all of us here.
You know, the work you're going to do will be written in many books in the world. Already Kenya now, your friends who are ahead of you are already in the history of the world. They're being discussed in governments by presidents of the world because of the sacrifice they make. By you joining them, we believe that you will provide great success.
And a charge by Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, who emphasized the importance of the Kenya-led mission, urging the officers to serve with commitment. The officers who departed aboard a Kenya Airways flight arrived in Haiti on Saturday and were received by the Haitian President Fritz Alphonse Jean, among other top government officials.
I want to once again reiterate, on behalf of the government and the people of Kenya, that we will be with the people of Haiti all the way.
We have to say right now, the Kenyan troops are in a region in Haiti called Atibonite, and they are fighting hard. These are challenging times for Haiti, and in challenging times, we need friends like you to help us.
The mandate of the officers in Haiti is to protect civilians, uphold public order, and assist in the reform and fortification of regional law enforcement organizations. The first batch of 400 officers were flagged off by President William Ruto in June last year.
The police officers have executed successful operations against gangs in the support of Haitian police. The mission has operated in challenging and risky environments to protect civilians and the citizens in general. This effort have achieved reopening of some critical access roads connecting Port-au-Prince to other regions, restoring operations in learning institutions and the health facilities.
Nancy Okware, Sunday Express.
Quite charged there, of course, as they begin or join their colleagues in that mission in Port-au-Prince. Time for us now to take our first breather. On Sunday Express, don't go too far. We're coming back with more news.
Wellness is important in our daily lives so that instead of just surviving, we should be thriving.
Ways to prevent a stroke or heart attack is for you to know what conditions you have. By regular checkup, people don't know they have hypertension, they don't know they have diabetes.
I was pre-diabetic. I was afraid of getting lifestyle diseases because I come from a family that has lifestyle diseases.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers.
Stay well and strive to make every day a healthy day.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed. We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe.
Welcome back to Sunday Express. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now claims that his fallout with the Kenya Kwanza administration was sparked by differences arising from nominations of East African Legislative Assembly EALA legislators. Gachagua now claims that the elections were marred with irregularities. Impeached former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was on Sunday back in Mount Kenya region, where he sustained his onslaught against the government. Gachagua, who attended a church service at the PCA Church, Wangudhiru Parish in Matanya, Laikipia County, continued poking holes in the government agenda for his region.
Tuko na mambo ya maji, hakuna. Tuko na mambo ya stima, hakuna. Mimi nilikuwa namwambia rais, tafadhali, rais, si tutimize zile ahadi tulipatia watu ya Laikipia, watu ya Mount Kenya na watu ya Kenya.
Speaking on the Saturday meeting graced by former Mungiki leader Maina Jenga in Nyeri, Gachagua claimed they will only make the government even more unpopular.
Na mimi niliona jana kitendo ambacho walifanya wakati walienda kumwattack Pastor Dorcas na wale kina mama ambao makosa yao tu ilikuwa kuomba.
Nimesikia juzi, nimeongea maneno ya Mungiki kurudisha Mount Kenya. Nikaona watu wanakasirika sana.
For heaven's sake, she is a respectable pastor, a respectable woman.
Hakuna mtu ya kutetea watu ya Mlima Kenya. Hakuna mtu ya kutetea vijana. Wale wabunge mlichagua, wengi wao kazi yao ni kufikiria mambo ya tumbo zao.
The former DP at the same time disclosed that plans are in top gear to launch his political party, which will give direction on his next move ahead of the 2027 elections. Elsewhere, leaders allied to opposition leader Raila Odinga have called for the equitable distribution of resources across the country. Speaking during a fundraising event at Emmaus Catholic Church in Rong, Migori County, Governor Ochilo Ayako and Migori County Senator Eddie Oketch maintained that political affiliation and ethnic background should not be barriers to the government's efforts to extend development to all people.
We all owe the apology. Hello? Yes. We all owe the apology. The resources of this country must be equitably shared. And it is a long time that we have the President and Raila Odinga working together to make sure that those who are shared equally.
But when people want to dethrone the president unfairly, no law will support unfair dethronement of Ruto. Hatuwezi kubali serikali ya Ruto iangushwe kwa njia isiyo halali.
Our family from Siaya County is requesting financial support amounting to 8 million Kenya shillings to help their kin undergo a lung transplant in India. 29-year-old Cynthia Koth was diagnosed with interstitial lung disease and pulmonary hypertension, with medics recommending a lung transplant.
Cynthia Koth, a teacher at Ambrose Adea Dongo Secondary School in Alego, Usonga, says that her condition began as a minor cough back in 2017 while she was on teaching practice. On diagnosis, Cynthia received what up to date remains her worst nightmare.
The lungs are inflamming. In a way, they are not allowing oxygen to pass through. So I've been on medication from 2017, but now the lungs were progressing since I did not get the right medication for my condition.
Oxygen saturation in her lungs was at 30% against the required 90 to 100%, with doctors putting her under oxygen full time.
Anywhere I go, I have to be on oxygen. It is 24/7 since the lungs now cannot allow enough oxygen for the body.
The medical experts have recommended a critical yet expensive lung transplant in India, expected to cost 8 million shillings, including the travel expenses.
The physician told me that there were no medication to this. I was to just maintain it. It is a lifetime. I'm now on those drugs, but now there is no much the drugs can do.
Owing to her deteriorating health, she's unable to go to work.
It is not an easy journey. It has been tough since I cannot even go to school. So my kids are also suffering. They are not safe since I cannot cater for them. So I'm here to appeal for you to help me in any way you can so that I may go for treatment.
The family has exhausted all savings and are now appealing to Kenyans of goodwill to bail them out.
I'm appealing for Kenyans to assist me with any amount that someone can have.
To help the family, you can channel your contributions via the phone number 0710104416. Name Cynthia Akoth, or alternatively through her mother's phone number 0727455063. Name Clarice Atieno.
Any kind of help to Mwalimu Cynthia Akoth would really come in hand for her to undergo that very critical procedure. There is the number. You can just chip in, something to aid her medical attention, a lung transplant that will restore her life and that of her children. Clearly, even her children are affected by the same. We wish her the very best. Now, Kenya is set to strengthen the cultural diplomacy ties with the People's Republic of China, with plans to forge new and enhanced partnerships geared towards fostering mutual understanding and cooperation between the two nations. The cooperation, according to Culture, the Arts and Heritage Principal Secretary Umi Bashir, will put more emphasis on the preservation of cultural heritage and tourism promotion. She was speaking in Nairobi during the celebrations ahead of a Chinese New Year.
Kenya is banking on the growing significance of culture as a tool for diplomacy and economic development as it seeks to enhance cultural collaboration with China. Culture, the Arts and Heritage Principal Secretary Umi Bashir, who was speaking during the celebration of the Chinese New Year, says Kenya has already enjoyed fruitful cultural exchanges with China, particularly in areas such as language, education, and the arts.
We have a lot of partnerships in terms of cultural heritage. We have partnered in matters museums, the climate change that is affecting our museums and heritage sites. Those are some of the areas we are partnering with them. And of course, how we can digitize and document our cultural assets as a country.
Bashir says there exist new frontiers for cooperation between Kenya and China through cultural diplomacy.
We have partnerships and different MOUs that we are working on as a country, and this is what we are doing together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Chinese ambassador to Kenya, Guo Haiyan, expressed optimism about the potential for future partnerships to enhance diplomatic relations and contribute to global cultural exchange.
Our relations are comprehensive, strategic, cooperative partnership. I think it's characterized by mutual respect, mutual support, and mutually beneficial cooperations in many fields. China stands ready to work with Kenya to implement the consensus reached by our leaders.
Hundreds turned up to celebrate the upcoming Chinese New Year 2025, due in 20 days at the Two Rivers Mall.
We are advocating a global civilization initiative. We advocate the interaction, mutual learning of different cultures, different civilizations.
The New Year traditions centered on ushering out the old year and bringing luck and prosperity into the new one. Firecrackers, fireworks, red cloths, and decorations were at the center stage with top performances from various Chinese artists.
Now, shock has gripped the Ikolomani area in Kakamega County after the body of a 24-year-old man was discovered in a rented room operated by a local drinking joint. The body of Humphrey Achevi was found hours after he checked into the joint with a friend. John Kahiro has details.
Shimanyiro Market in Kakamega County. A grieving atmosphere engulfing the area following the discovery of the body of 24-year-old Humphrey Achevi. According to staff working at Lamas pub, Achevi checked into one of the rooms on Saturday and had company at around 10 p.m.
Customers walikuja jana wawili, walikuja by saa 4 kunywa pombe. Venye walikuja wakasaviwa. Saa 4 wakaenda kwa room saa 5.
His body was discovered on Sunday morning, reportedly with blood oozing from nose and mouth.
Nikamuuliza na hii nini? Hii kuloa kwote ni nini? Akaniambia amejisusulia. Nikamwambia amejisusulia, akasema Nikamwambia na hii bleeding. Alikuwa na nose bleed. Akasema hakuwa na nose bleed. Kuangalia kwa mdomo alikuwa amepanua tu mdomo. Damu ilikuwa kwa mdomo. Your time anatetemeka tu.
The whereabouts of Achevi's company remains unknown, with police launching probe to unravel the cause of the death.
Na msichana mwenye walikuwa na yeye alitoroka, ingawaje alikuwa ameripoti kwa wale wenye ana handle hizo rooms ya kwamba mteja wao mmoja amekufa kwa room.
And in amusing turn of events, a 32-year-old man near Magare village, Homa Bay County, committed suicide near his father-in-law's home. The deceased, identified as Eric Omondi Gogo, was discovered hanging from a tree a few meters from the compound in a suspected suicide case.
Yule ambaye alinyonga hapa ni kana kwamba alioa hapa na akapata kwanza kazuru maeneo ya Magare na akapata taarifa kwamba mahali yule alioa anaishi, na kisha baadaye akachukua hatua chache tu na akajinyonga kwenye mti ambao mnaona nyuma yetu hapa.
According to locals who are yet to come to terms with the horror, the incident is linked to a domestic dispute with his wife.
Na watu umati ambao unaona wamekusanyika hapa hivi kwa sasa ni kama kwamba hata wao wamegadhabika sana, na pia vile vile wameweza wanataka kujua ufahamu zaidi ni jambo gani ambalo iliyofanya mambo haya yote kusababisha maeneo kama hapa.
The body has since been taken to the Homa Bay Hospital mortuary, awaiting autopsy and further investigations. Meanwhile, 2.5-year-old twins were burnt to death in their house in Bushibo village of Kakamega County. The two had been left under the care of their elder brother, who by the time of the incident had gone to the river to fetch water. But the incident remains mysterious since the house is not connected with electricity and the cylinder in the house had no gas.
Tukaanza kuchukua maji kwa nyumba tukileta nje. Tukachimba nyumba tukaweza kutoboa kwa dirisha mahali wanalala. Tukaweza kuwatoa wakawaweka nje, walikuwa watoto wawili.
John Kahiro, Sunday Express.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed. We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Welcome back. The Metropolitan Hospital in Nairobi has refuted claims that it withheld the body of a patient who died in the hospital last year, subjecting the family to anguish for nearly 3 months. The hospital claims it released the body of the late Titus Theuri for burial on the 7th of January after reaching a payment plan with the family for an outstanding hospital bill totaling approximately 7.3 million shillings. The family, however, blames the healthcare facility over the protracted process that saw Theuri being buried last Friday.
3 months after his demise on the 24th of October 2024, the late Titus Theuri was finally laid to rest last Friday in Mukurweini, Nyeri County. His interment perhaps bringing to a close a 3-month protracted battle over the release of his body, pitting his family against the management of the Metropolitan Hospital in Nairobi, where he passed on while receiving treatment for septic pneumonia.
The time he passed on 24th of October 2024 at Metropolitan Hospital, the hospital issued the burial permit on 9th of December, but it was written on 6th of December.
At the center of the controversy was the payment of an outstanding 7.3 million shillings bill accrued during his treatment. The family accused the hospital mortuary of refusing to release his body despite paying 5.7 million shillings and providing a title deed as collateral to settle the bill. The deceased son has accused the hospital of being malicious by demanding the payment of full amount despite clear evidence that the family had depleted its resources.
And the issue is that it took so long for that burial permit to be issued so that the family could have access to the body. And it's a cruel thing because the body was being detained and used as a bargaining chip.
The hospital, on the other hand, dismissed the malice claim by the family, insisting that it did not retain the body. Until his demise, the late Titus Theuri worked at the Kenya High Commission in London, England.
So the problem that the family has is why it took so long for the burial permit to be issued. The hospital has, in effect, admitted that they were holding the body until they get paid. And that is illegal under the law.
Joseph Wahungu for Sunday Express.
A long-serving civic leader who was in office during the reign of the late Presidents Jomo Kenyatta and Daniel Moi in Ngara, Nairobi, Councillor Joseph Kariuki Mbudhia is dead. According to his family, Mbudhia died Sunday morning from cardiac arrest. The 87-year-old politician, who was one of the top executive members of the KANU party, was also a renowned businessman owning several hotels in Nairobi's Ngara area. He will be buried on Saturday at his home in Karunge village, Mathioya, Murang'a County.
We are sorry to announce to our fellow citizens that our father left us today in the morning at around 6:30 a.m. Meetings will be held at here, Arabi Hotel, from tomorrow Monday, 6 p.m. till Friday, because we are anticipating to have his burial on Saturday.
TikTok went offline in the United States Saturday night, less than 2 hours before a ban was slated to go into effect. The extraordinary blackout was prevented, or rather has prevented access to one of the world's most popular social media apps that had hosted at least 170 million US-based users. The ban followed months of legal battles and rigorous security or scrutiny over TikTok's parent Chinese ownership.
More than 170 million US-based TikTok users were on late Saturday night welcomed by frustrating message on their gadgets blocking their access to the app. The law has prohibited American companies from hosting or serving content for the Chinese-owned social media platform unless it sells itself to a buyer from United States or one of its allies. But there still lies a glimmer of hope for the app enthusiast after President-elect Donald Trump said he's likely to delay a ban on TikTok for 90 days after he takes office on Monday.
Republicans are always 30 points down in youth. I don't know why, but we ended up finishing. There was one poll that showed us down about 30. We were 35 or 36 points up with young people. So I have a little bit of a warm spot in my heart, I'll be honest.
Follow me, I'll follow you. Let's help each other build something new.
John Kahiro, Sunday Express.
It should be noted that the incoming president of the United States of America, who will be sworn in tomorrow as the 47th president, does not favor that ban. Whether he will be able to reverse it through policies or proposals through Congress, that is yet to be seen. But so far, looks like TikTok will continue staying dark in the United States. Professionals from the Turkana community living in Samburu County are calling for a ceasefire and peaceful coexistence among residents in the area. There's much more in the County News Roundup.
Their call comes in the wake of rising cases of insecurity occasioned by suspected bandits who have wreaked havoc in the past few days.
We are saying to the Samburu community, we are very peaceful people, we love peace, and we need respect to our leaders the way we respect your leaders. And therefore, today marks the beginning of a journey of peace among ourselves, and we are going to be agents of peace. We are also part and parcel of Samburu County. Whether we are minority or not, we should be respected as a community.
Wazee waende waongee na wazee. Wazee wa Turkana waende waongee na wazee wa Samburu. Vijana wa Turkana waongee na vijana wa Samburu. Yale mambo yametendeka pale tu, sisi kama akina mama tunasikia uchungu. Tunasema pole kwa hizo familia.
Meanwhile, Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni is encouraging parents to ensure their daughters are vaccinated for HPV vaccine to prevent cervical cancer. Muthoni says January being Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, the government is committed to ensuring all girls get vaccinated to protect them against the human papillomavirus, which can cause cervical cancer.
Any girl in Kenya who is between the age of 15 years and below should be taken for vaccination of HPV vaccine. Again, any woman who is at the age of 25 years and 50 years, it is important that they go to a health facility for screening. This is the month that we have to talk about this.
Machakos County Governor Wavinya Ndeti has condemned the abduction of the Mlolongo Four, calling for the end of abductions and extrajudicial killings in the country. She, however, called on parents to set a good example to their children.
Tumeona tu vile Kenya inaendelea. Tumeona watoto wetu wamekosa nidhamu. Kwa nini? Wamekosa nidhamu because viongozi wamekosa nini? Nidhamu.
And plans to commence the tarmacking of the 41 kilometers Emali-Ukia Junction Road in Makueni County are at the tail ends, with Kenya having obtained a concessionary loan from China to fund the road that connects Makueni to Tanzania and northern Kenya. According to Kibwezi West MP Mwengi Mutuse, the construction will start immediately after the funds are availed.
Nataka niwatangazie kwamba nimeongea na Mheshimiwa Rais. Juzi tumepata pesa kutoka nchi ya Uchina na Mheshimiwa Rais ameniahidi kwamba tutakuja hapa na yeye Mali tuanzishe kuwekwa lami kwa barabara ya kutoka Mali hapa Uchina.
Finally, residents of Bombada Borabu Ward have decried the lack of electricity in the area. The residents cited electricity, water and roads among amenities that are wanting, calling for urgent fixing.
To be forced by your parents to chat with a stranger for an entire night? I won. That's why I didn't go.
Okay, that's fair then, okay?
I just want my husband to be available when I need him.
Just call me.
I'll share?
Yeah. No.
Let's not waste our time. You can't keep those promises, and even if you did, it would just be temporary. Right? You're sitting here seriously discussing this with me now?
Onjini bwana. Bwana. Sasa mbona unachipanguza?
Jams. Sikuelewi.
Ai, wewe haki.
Mugagazi tunakusalimia.
Tu mmenisalimia. Kwantani huko. Wacha niende nikadili na yeye mama.
Wewe. Hebu angalia kwanza pale.
Nyama sunde. Unazitoa kwa jua kunguni siburuki.
Hii mumezikula hii ni ya 6 kutoka mwanzo kule.
Just before we do sports, a quick update regarding that TikTok story in the United States of America. It appears like Donald Trump is moving things quick after saying that he will issue an executive order to restore the app. TikTok has started to restore some of its services in the United States, and that means then the dark edge is over for TikTok in the United States. Now, Tusker FC moved 3 points clear at the top of the FKF Premier League table after beating Gor Mahia 2-1 in one of the 5 matches played today across the country. The 3 points moved Tusker above Kenya Police, who had temporarily moved to the top after beating Murang'a Seals 1-0, but Police have a game in hand. KCB, who also have a game in hand, are third on 28 points, 2 behind Police and 5 behind leaders Tusker. KCB had to come from a goal down to draw 1-0 with City Stars. Philemon Nyakwakwa's 22nd minute goal cancelled out Kevin Etemesi's 5th minute City Stars opener. Shabana and Bandari, who also played to a 1-0 draw, are 6th and 7th on the table respectively. Brian Meshira scored early for Shabana, but Joseph Otieno levelled the score in the 73rd minute. The final game of the day saw Sofapaka beat bottom side Posta Rangers 2-1. Seahorses Aquatic Centre emerged the overall winners of the Nairobi County Swimming Association 11 years and under level 1 swimming championship held at the Kioria School in Nairobi. More than 300 junior swimmers took part in the 2-day event.
After emerging victorious in day 1, Seahorses were on course on day 2, bagging 26 medals, 10 gold, 8 silver and 8 bronze medals in the men's category, with Little Fish Swim Club and Havina School completing the podium positions.
I feel excited and I feel happy about how we are given chances to show how fast we can swim and to prove ourselves. My goal is to be in the Olympics and prove that Kenyans can also be good at swimming.
We are going to give who deserves. I'll ensure who deserves gets the position or get into position to represent the country. Then the other thing, we are going to ensure swimmers train more on the camps before they depart for any international meet.
In the women's category, Seahorses bagged 19 medals, 10 gold, 5 silver and 4 bronze medals to finish first, ahead of Kavina School and Little Fish Swim Club, who took the second and third places respectively.
Today has been pretty good day. I've reduced my times and I'm proud. For the events that I've not, it's fine and I hope to do better.
I came first in IM. And swimming is my thing. When like butterfly, breaststroke are my best strokes. And I was swimming since I was 4 years old.
The importance of swimming at this earlier stage is about instilling discipline, kids interacting and all that. We have seen 6 years and unders meeting records, which is something very good at that tender age.
The 2-day event saw 300 swimmers drawn from 13 schools taking part. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
27 children are in line to benefit from the Obuya Cricket Academy in 2025 with education scholarships as the academy continues with its cricket sports training and education program. The program started over 5 years ago and is aimed at benefiting at least 27 children each year.
After benefiting several children for over 5 years, the Obuya Cricket Academy will once again identify at least 27 children from across the country in 2025 who will be supported with the education scholarships under the Obuya Academy Cricket Sports Training and Education Program.
Whatever we raise from this project, we want to venture into all the 24 counties which play cricket. I would love to go into all 47 counties, but we'll start with the 24 counties and hope this time the Waziri will be part of the the process that we've been doing, and we just ask him to come and partner with us so that we can see how we can move this lovely sport forward.
This initiative of taking the sport into different counties will go a long way towards that, right? Because what these guys are trying to do are train coaches so that they don't have to keep traveling up and down themselves, and that those facilities for the kids are there to play, right? And then, of course, as the kids progress and get better at the sport, they'll have to move as they get older anyway. That's the nature of any sport anywhere in the world, right? If they want to pursue it seriously, they'll have to go to where they can make the biggest mark. But I think this county's initiative, if they can push the game out further, that will bridge that gap between the kind of kids in Nairobi and the kids outside, right? So, yeah.
Last year, the Academy supported 13 children with this year's program, beginning after the 2 charity matches that were played today between Obuya Cricket Academy and Peponi and Shield Cricket against Mudangari.
We've learned about sportsmanship and discipline. We've learned how to build each other up and support each other.
Whenever I can't get past something and whenever I find issues in my technique and I don't know what they are, they always point them out. And if I hit a wall, I can break past that wall and I can go further. I can reach new heights, and I really enjoy that. Yeah.
I have a time limit for sports. Like on Wednesdays, I do sports until maybe 5, and then the rest I do my studies and homework.
Cricket is pretty competitive and because there's 3 things, so you'd have to try your best in most of them, try your best.
Mr. Obuya and all his brothers played for the Kenyan team, and that's one of my goals in life for cricket. And how they have their own academy, many people come and train there, inspiring other people to play cricket. I would like to also experience that later in life.
The sports training and education programs in partnership with MRM Foundation are aimed at supporting children from humble backgrounds who are or will be actively involved in the game of cricket.
We are going to continue supporting this as long as it takes. We don't have any time frame. We're not interested in we'll do it for 1 year or this. I'm not a parent. I'm not playing cricket with them. I don't have children in this. It's something very, very important for Kenya. Kenya, as Kenyans, we should support them. The Kenyan government should support them. They should be part of what Kenyan government should do to promote this game, to get back into the international game.
We have spent around $1 million shilling on this academy in the last 5 years. And the way talent is growing and the young kids are growing, I know the fund requirement is also growing. And we are happy to commit. K will be happy to invest in next 5 years around 5 million more.
The charity matches partly boosts the academy to realize its goal of supporting the education of at least 27 children each year in honor of Collins Obuya, who wore jersey number 27.
Sports is very much part of education. You can't do well at school academically if you're not also physically well. Not everyone will be a champion player, but if everybody can participate, keep physically fit, it will assist them in their studies. And my encouragement also would be to parents, not just keep on pushing kids on books, but also to go out on the field and play.
In Kenya, they have to balance money and sport, health, roads. There's a lot of demands on the public purse. So really and truly what it is that the private citizen has to step up again and say, how can we add and how can we develop along with government, along with agencies, along with other people, if we really value sports.
The Obuya Cricket Academy does not only support children from humble backgrounds, but also does cricket trainings 4 days a week, in addition to the clinics held in 24 counties in the country.
Time for us to put a cap on the Sunday Express, but just before we do, some sad news coming in, and that is regarding the sporting fraternity. The Mathare United Football Club founder, Robert Donald Monroe, has died, and the family has announced that after making trips to hospitals for the last 6 months owing to respiratory problems. Donald Monroe has died today. And of course, our condolences to the family and indeed the Mathare United FC fraternity. But be it as may, today being a Sunday, Brighton beat Manchester United black and blue. Whatever you do with that information is up to you. Good night. That's all for Take Up on Sunday Express. God bless.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na